No, we've absolutely burnt that tune over the last couple of days, guys. We're not we're not going to do that
grooving
again.
to that.
Yeah, I played it on like every single stream recently. Welcome in, guys. Welcome to another episode of LBins. Much to discuss. Manchester City's curse at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is finally over thanks to a goal from Nathan Ake. We're going to discuss a Manchester City back. We seem to be on a bit of a winning streak and nobody's noticed, which is good stuff. Before we get into it, guys, make sure you smash a like on the video if you've not done so already. Get those likes up. Target of likes today is 150. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And make sure you subscribe to Nobbins. The link is in the description. Get Nobbins up. Let's get some yes shout outs in the chat. Big up to Shahin. Big up to Hayden. Big up to Section. Woofy. Dutch is here. Ethan. Abdi Salad. Big up to Capone. Alec. Daniel's here. Big up to Nat. Big up to Manny, Spurs fan. Who else we got in? Big up to Mank Ninja. We got Elder in here who called me a fraud. Big up to Sadiq, Raging, Chris, Osmodius, David. The Canadians are in the house. Fox, Cunley. Big up to Atricio as well. We've also got Dan Rowe, I Supreme. Big up to the Vibe. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Please make sure you drop a like on the stream. Welcome in, Bray. Another episode of LBins. You okay?
I'm very good, especially after yesterday. Amazing scenes. We score a goal at Spurs. We score a corner. Walker has a good game. It's just fantastic. You know, everything that shouldn't have happened in the world happened in one tiny little 90-minute period, and it was all in City's favour. So yeah, buzzing.
But we kept a clean sheet as well.
That too, exactly. Yeah, unreal.
Yeah. I remember I did a show with MTFC Tone yesterday, and I gave my score prediction. I gave us 2-0 score prediction to City, and I was like, hang on a minute. What's going on here? How come I'm predicting a clean sheet for Manchester City? But we actually defended quite well. They only had one chance in the game, which maybe on another day they could have scored because obviously there was 1-on-1. But we actually defended quite well, so that's good news. And the curse is over, which is nice because it was becoming a little bit of a joke, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. It got to the point where we had 100 shots. And without a goal at the ground, we've missed 2 penalties at that ground. We've had more goals disallowed and missed more penalties than scored goals. And that's still the case. To be fair, we still have missed more penalties than scored goals at that ground. Well, that stat's still a thing. But it's good to get the first one in at least. And obviously we'll get onto the game, but it was no less than we deserved. And it was such a good game from City overall. I thought I was very happy with the performance as well.
That's interesting because I actually didn't think it was the best performance in the world. I thought it was quite poor. I thought it was quite sloppy on the ball. I thought at times was okay. I think there was a 20-minute period in the first half we did well. And then the second half it was a bit hit and miss. But I actually thought we was a bit sloppy on the ball. If you look at the passing accuracy, 88% passing accuracy, that's actually really, really low for Manchester City. We're usually in the 90s. I thought it was quite sloppy there. I thought our sort of final ball, when we got the ball forward, was quite poor. Yeah, give me your thoughts then on the game, bro.
Yeah, so I agree with you on like the final ball thing. That was the part of the game which I wasn't pleased with. Like the final action in the final third was lacking, whether it was, like a run from Alvarez or the final ball through by Foden or Bernardo, or, the final cross from like, a Gvardiol or Walker, that was lacking. But I thought the rest of the game, in terms of like controlling it, obviously limiting them to basically nothing. I know they technically had that one big chance, but, Ortega's smothering that all day. I'm amazed that, there's no world in which Johnson can even do anything remotely with that shot, because Ortega does what City keepers do, he comes out. So as far as I'm concerned, they didn't really have a proper shot or chance. So to limit them to nothing at their ground is pretty impressive. I don't care if you're Man City or whoever. Spurs are a very good side. We obviously Spurs played a little bit deeper than they would have liked to, but also City forced them to play that deep as well, even more so than at the Etihad, to be honest. Yeah, it was a very controlled game. I was happy with the build-up. Thought, our midfielders in particular were fantastic. And yeah, it did break down in the final third. And that was obviously where the issues were. And not just like, Alvarez, Foden, even like when De Bruyne came on, he had that just the most clear-cut goal. It should have been a goal, but wasn't. So it just seemed like it was going to be one of those days. But De Bruyne did come on. And from set pieces, we've seen him from open play against Newcastle. And we obviously know how devastating he is from set piece as well, whether it's free kicks or corners. Our corners never really looked like threatening Spurs, you just showed a graphic like 14 corners or something.
Mhm.
And then as soon as De Bruyne comes on, immediately start to look a little bit more dangerous. And as it happens, that's how he scored the goal. So yeah, that's another quality from Kevin.
Yeah, no. It was yeah. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh then, because you are right. We did go to one of the best teams in the country. You know, top five, top six team in the country, and they basically had no chances whatsoever by that one Brennan Johnson effort, which obviously, as you said, Stefan Ortega done well. Yeah, I just thought it was a bit sloppy on the ball. Now, it could have been the fact. I don't really want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
The pitch was a bit weird last night.
Oh, you're sounding very Jurgen there, LB. I must say, it must be said.
I know.
Is that a German accent I detect?
Listen, maybe, yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll put it down to the fact that the pitch was a little bit weird. But yeah, no. Listen, we kept the ball well. I thought Kovacic, who's played well recently in a couple of games in a row now, I thought he had a fantastic game. Rodri again slamming it. Yeah, I thought the midfield really controlled it. Julian Alvarez, I thought, struggled a little bit, as I thought Foden didn't particularly have his greatest game in the world, but yeah, we dominated the game and it was good to see. And the reason I say a Manchester City back now, which is yeah, maybe we weren't gone any in the first place, but we put a little bit of a winning streak together. I feel like this has kind of gone under the radar. I mean, you go back to the Crystal Palace game, which was a little bit obviously disappointing to say the least. You know, we went to the Club World Cup, which I remember saying at the time, I thought that was a great sort of distraction for us. I think it would have been even better if we would have won that Crystal Palace game, but I think it was needed. I think at that point, the Premier League, it just ran its toll on us a little bit. You know what I mean? We were just not. We
needed a reset.
Yeah, we needed a reset. We just needed to go away somewhere. Obviously, two pretty comfortable performances there. We come back, Everton, difficult place to go and play football. Obviously, with the charges, we dispatched them quite easily, to be honest, if we're being real. 2 clean sheets in a row. Sheffield United and Huddersfield Town, obviously not the hardest teams in the world, but clean sheets nonetheless. This was a big game. Yeah, this was a huge game. And I remember saying at the time, if we beat Newcastle there, I expect us to go and win our next 6 Premier League games because they're all winnable. And then to go and score and win at Tottenham Hotspur in, I guess, a game where we controlled the game. You know, what we're on now, we're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 match winning streak. I mean, it's kind of got unnoticed. I've not heard any of the media, I've not heard anyone speaking about the fact that Manchester City are on a 7 match winning streak.
It's probably because it's in across different competitions, isn't it? So, you know, Club World Cup, FA Cup, and Premier League as well. Like if it was in the Premier League, I think they probably would be talking about it more, but they probably don't give as much weight to cup games, which is wrong because, you know, they're still tricky games, especially away against Spurs. But that's probably why people aren't really talking about it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And as you say, clean sheets in there. And that's why I was so happy with yesterday. Defensively, unbelievably solid. Obviously, like the system was set up in a way which, you know, mitigated chances. But even when, you know, Spurs had a potential, you know, crossing opportunity, like Ake and Ruben Diaz, Kyle Walker, Gvardiol, like all of these players just getting their body in the way. Like Ake at one point, you know, when he fell over, still desperately trying to get his head on the ball to try to get it away from the Spurs player. I just thought it just looked more like City of last season in that treble winning run when it looked like the players would die for each other and they would like die before they'd let the opposition have a shot on goal. I just thought it was fantastic. Ruben Diaz, if he can play like that until the end of the season, he's back. Unbelievable from him, especially. And yeah, just I don't think anyone. Yeah, no one in that defence or midfield had a bad game, to be honest. They were just all superb from a defensive standpoint. Brilliant.
Well, you say that, but there was one player that was getting a lot of criticism in my chat. I thought it was a bit harsh, so I'm going to ask you to get your opinion on it. Josko Gvardiol, what did you make of him? Because some of my chat was cooking him yesterday, bro. I didn't think I thought first half he played well. Second half he gave the ball away a few times, but on the whole I thought he played well. But chat was cooking him, man. What was your views on Gvardiol?
I think I'm watching a different player to other people because it's not just. I'm not just singling out the people in your chat. By the way, I'm not even talking about them because I was going to bring this up anyway. Online, like I know Twitter's Twitter, whatever. But I get people coming into my streams as well who are non-City fans going, "What do you think of Gvardiol? Has he been a bit of a flop?" I'm like, he's been brilliant this season. I don't really understand what's going on. Sure, his crossing yesterday was bad. I agree with that. There's one moment in particular where there was a really good opportunity for him to put a ball in, and it looked like a centre-back crossing the ball, which is what he is. And yeah, so I accept that. But I thought he was very, very good, to be honest with you. Defensively, I can't remember him doing anything particularly wrong. On the ball, his touch is always great. His link up with Bob was fantastic. And sure, I will criticise him for not being a left winger and for not being able to put consistently put crosses in. I totally agree with that. But there is this sort of weird, and I say it's not just like City fans. It's mainly coming from non-City fans who don't watch City. There's this weird notion that he's not played well this season, and so whenever we're doing like a team of the season, and I have Gvardiol as my left back, everyone's like, "What? He's been rubbish." I'm like, we can't be watching the same player. There's no way, because I've been so impressed with his performances this season. Again, he only turned 22 the other day, and he's been fantastic. Came in for big money, a lot of pressure. Centre back playing left wing. I think he has been very good, and I thought yesterday he was good. You could say the worst defender of the four, because I thought the other three had very good games, but that doesn't mean he was bad. I thought he was good. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I thought he made a couple of sloppy passes. I mean, look at his stats here. Yeah, obviously, you can combine this with the eye test. It's not just a stats, but I'm just going through this to complement the eye test. Again, as Nobbin said, he's a centre-back, playing left wing. Look at the heat map, man. It's crazy. Made a clearance, 3 interceptions. He won 3 out of 4 ground duels, 1 out of 2 aerial duels. Passing accuracy is slightly less than where you'd want, and a couple of passes were a bit sloppy in the second half. But he only misplaced 10 passes in the whole game. He only had 1 cross according to this,
and that was that one which he should have done much better with. But again, I'm going to forgive him for not consistently putting in Kevin De Bruyne crosses, considering again Pep is asking his fullbacks to be wingers in the system that we've seen in the last 2 games. So I'm not going to be too critical of him.
I agree. Two successful long ball out of 3, 2 dribble attempts successful. I think people are being a bit too harsh on him, man. I don't get it. I don't know what you guys want to expect. At the end of the day, he's a centre back playing left wing. He's not going to put. I said this yesterday. He's not going to be putting Kolarov style crosses into the box, guys. Do you know what I mean? So like, it is what it is, man. I thought he played all right yesterday. I thought people were being a bit harsh on him, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah,
the fact is he's so young as well, bro. He's so young, and he's coming into this team playing completely out of position, and he's doing all right. He's doing good, and so I think people are being a bit too harsh. I don't really know what people want to expect, and people are saying, "Oh, we should get Ake back at left back." I'm starting to change my mind.
I think
why would you move Ake to left back when he's absolutely slamming it at centre half? Why would you do that?
Yeah, and also, I mean, this is like, I feel like this is sort of like near the start of the season when we were, when certain tribal City fans were trying to make it a war between Doku and Grealish, and now the conversation, it's Ake or Gvardiol. You're either with us or you're with them. It's not this isn't a zero-sum game where you've got to pick sides. It's like they can both play in the same team. There are lots of games. There will be rotation, and especially, as I say, if this is the system that we're going to be proceeding with, where a centre half is playing left wing, much as I love Ake, we criticise Gvardiol's forward abilities. Ake's nowhere near the level of Gvardiol from a forward and on-ball perspective. So it would be even worse if you want that situation. So yeah, it's a debate which doesn't need to be had, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I felt some people was being a little bit harsh there. I've done a poll in the chat, guys. So get your votes in the poll, live chat right now. Get your votes. If you're watching back and replay, get me your thoughts in down below. Where are you on this one? I thought he played all right. So did Nobbins, but there are people who thought he didn't play particularly well. A big up to Piplup for the super chat. He says Doku was terrible. Yeah, Doku wasn't good at all when he come on. To be fair, once we scored, he was very good at what we needed in keeping the ball in the corner. But before we scored,
very frustrating, to be honest.
Bro. Pep was going mental at him, wasn't he?
I was as well. I just didn't understand what I was watching. It was so it's easily. I know he only played for a few minutes, but that's his worst performance so far in the City shirt. He's just coming back from being off for a while, so I'm not going to go too hard in on. But yeah, really weird decision making from Docker. Hopefully, it's just a little blip, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, no, big up Piplup for the super chat. Appreciate that. I want to speak about Nathan Ake, bro, because for me, I put out a tweet this morning. And I said that for me, Nathan Ake, in my opinion, has been Manchester City's best centre-back. for the last 18 months from a consistent basis. What's your view on Nathan Ake? How good do you think he's been over the last 18 months? Do you agree with my statement that he's been our best defender over the last 18 months? And do you agree with me now? Are you starting to change your opinion? Do you actually think that maybe we shouldn't put him back at left back? Do we keep him at centre back because he's done such a good job? Like, what's your take on the whole Nathan Ake situation?
Yeah, I love Ake. I've done a total 180 on Ake from, when we signed him, because I think one of his earliest games was the Community Shield against Leicester when he gave away a really silly penalty, and it was a big price tag. I can't remember if that was his first or second season. I can't remember. And I was just like, why have we signed him? I didn't get it at the time. I was like, this is a lot of money from a player who just got relegated to Bournemouth. He's giving away a penalty. What's going on? And from that moment, like the redemption arc in my eyes anyway, it's just been staggering. I thought he was our best defender across the entirety of last season. Lots of people putting Ruben Diaz in their teams of the season. I personally have Nathan Ake over Ruben Diaz across the whole course of the season. He was never bad. He didn't have one bad game last season. I couldn't pick you one. He consistently clamped dangerous right wingers like Salah and Saka. This season at the start, it wasn't great in the Wolves game, for example, but overall, again, he has been very consistent and fantastic. And in a situation where Gvardiol coming in, lots been made of this, very expensive, very highly thought after centre back, left back. The idea would be, maybe from Ake's perspective, is am I being, is my position gone? So he's had to fight for his place, and we're maybe seeing a new level with Nathan Ake in that respect. So this is what competition breeds. It breeds success. And yeah, he has just been a rock for the vast majority of the season. So I don't think what you've said is a hot take. I think it's actually a lukewarm take, to be honest. I think it's just that. I think it's just correct. I think it's just correct, to be honest. He's been brilliant. Yeah, I love Ake. I love him, and I love how he just proved me wrong, because I was ready to give up on him. I'd say after that Leicester game, I was like, well, this is a flop already. This is like Mangala 2.0. What is happening? But no, he's been brilliant. I'm so happy that he's proved me wrong. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, from a defensive point of view, he very rarely makes mistakes, and I've got to say, he's passing now.
It's gone up a level.
It's gone up a few levels, man. If we're being honest, it's gone up a few levels. If you go on my Twitter, right, that tweet that I put out, if you watch the video on that I've quote tweeted, watch some of his passing. Honestly, man, you'd think it's like Laporte in there, just like whipping ball. Because like previously when he's played there, if he gets the ball, he's just going wide. He's just giving it to the left back. Now he's like whipping it into the striker. It's like, when you actually watch it back, you're like, wow, some of these passes are like really high quality. Like, it's not something that you'd expect with Nathan Ake. And, he's becoming difficult to drop. Do you know what I mean? Because for me, when John Stones comes back into the side, I thought if John Stones would have been on that pitch yesterday, I thought he would have absolutely ran the show, because there was so much space for our players that he would have just gone into the most amazing spaces and been able to make stuff happen. But when he comes back, and you got to put him back in the team, I don't think it's so sure that Diaz is going to have that position. I thought Diaz was all right yesterday, a lot better than he has been. Only one bozo moment from him yesterday. But for me, I'm like, why would you drop Ake over Diaz right now if you're going to be putting John Stones back in there? Because for me, Ake is our most informed defender. Do you know what I mean? So I think he's done so well. As Prodigal said, no, who said that in the chat then? Someone said he's like just general footwork. I can't remember. I'm sure just someone put it in the chat there. Someone put it in the chat then. He's just general football. Dribbling, Rehan there. Dribbling has gone up as well. Everything has just got massively better. So yeah, big up to Nathan Ake. He's absolutely quality. I remember someone saying in a live stream to me a couple of weeks ago that why couldn't Nathan Ake be a captain? And I was like, to be honest with you, don't really have an answer for it, to be honest, because like he could be. Piplups right here again, by the way, with the super chat. Ake and Akanji are our best defenders. Well, they've probably been our best defenders this season in terms of the amount of minutes they've played, just because John Stones hasn't played enough minutes, really. So, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. It'll be interesting to see if Akanji gets back in there. But obviously, you said it at the start. Kyle Walker, I thought, played really well yesterday. That's probably one of his best performances in a long time defensively. When he got back into Timo Werner, when he was running one-on-one with the goalkeeper, that was a brilliant bit of defending.
Yeah, I think that this is his best game this season, to be honest. I think he put the cross in for the Foden shot, which then it was just offside from Bob the last week or the week before against Newcastle. He got the assist for the Bernardo goal. And this is a shameless plug. This is something I will be discussing in my analysis video on the game. So, if you're interested in that video, go subscribe to my channel after watching this stream. But this new system that we've deployed is, I think, maybe designed in a way to get the best out of Walker and to basically mitigate his offensive weaknesses, because it means that he's less involved in like having to build up the play, and he's more just like traditional. All I've got to do is pop a cross in, and I'm given the ball at the final action rather than having to make that action myself. So yeah, and defensively solid again. Like, there was that one moment where I can't remember who it was running through, but he got back really well, and just overall decision making. Sorry,
Werner. It was Timo Werner.
Yeah, yes, and decision making really good. Yeah, and I've given Walker a lot of shit this season. I think rightly so, because he has been. I think he's been our worst player, in fairness. But I'm gonna, if he plays well, I'm not gonna dress it up. He was fantastic yesterday, going forwards, tracking back, defensively, in general, organisation, just really, really impressive from Walker.
Yeah, I thought that was one of his best games in a long time, and it's no surprise to me that in a game where he did go forward a bit, but like there was also, I felt like he was a little bit more reserved, and he wasn't like up here, which he has been before. Like he's been much more further back. And obviously, like I said, that's one of his best performances. We all know the situation with Kyle Walker. Defensively, he's one of the best right backs in the world. But when he goes too far forward, he gets caught out a little bit. That's when he struggled. And I think probably for me, you've got to put a bit of that on Pep Guardiola for me, because it's we all know it. It's no surprise that when he played further forward, he struggled a little bit. Get him back. Big up to Karl as well, says, remember, young Stones wasn't as good as he is now. Gvardiol is very young and showing great potential. He will only get better under Pep. Back him, says Karl. I'm with you, bro, 100%. Me and Karl, by the way, we was defending Gvardiol last night.
Big up, Karl.
Yeah, Karl, put it there, lad. Put it there. Yeah, me and you, the Gvardiol Defense League, the GDL. But yeah, listen, that was some good stuff. Anyone else that we want to speak about? We'll speak about a bit about Kovacic, bro. Mentioned him earlier. He was
brilliant.
But I thought that was one of his best games he's had.
I think that, again, for me, that was his best game. Only issue with Kovacic for me is he doesn't have the final action, the final ball into the final third, or the shot. Whenever he's on the ball outside the edge of the box, I never think, oh yeah, Kovacic is going to hit this first time and rifle it, or he's going to take it onto his strong foot and then pop it top corner. He just doesn't carry that same threat. So that's what he doesn't have compared to Gundogan. However, the rest of the game, in the other thirds of the pitch, I thought that yesterday he did a really good impression of Gundogan in terms of keeping things ticking over, just the control, knowing when to release the ball, knowing when to drive forwards with the ball. I thought it was really impressive. And in fairness to Kovacic, I know lots of people haven't been too impressed with him. I've been outside of the games Rodri hasn't featured in, and when he was asked to play as an out-and-out six, I think Kovacic has been good this season. As I say, the only games where I thought it was bad was that period where Rodri wasn't available. If he's got Rodri next to him, who obviously does the defensive midfield role, he's actually very good. It's just a shame he doesn't have that final action. He probably never will because of his age. You wouldn't expect him to add that to his game. But
no, he's never going to do that.
No, yeah, it's not like Gundogan, who came, I don't know how old Gundogan was, but he came with enough time to develop. Yeah, so he had enough time to develop into that player. Was Kovacic probably not, but yeah, if he can continue to win performances like that, keep the midfield organised, especially again, I'll refer to it again in this new system where it's a little bit riskier, where control in the midfield is more important, then going to be a huge boost to our chances of winning anything this season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's been really good. I remember it was quite funny actually, because I don't know if he was watching the stream, but a couple of weeks ago, it might have been Kovacic. Yeah, he might have been watching one of the streams, because a couple of weeks ago I said Kovacic is one of them players who's probably never going to get more than a 7.5 in a match rating, but will never really get less than a 7. It'll just be in between a 7 and a 7.5 every single game. Yeah, because he'll just keep the ball, keep it tidy, but he doesn't do enough going forward to really get those high ratings. Since then, he's been dropping some mad performances. And yesterday I thought he's really good. And also, I think what you just said then about Rodri being next to him is actually a great point. It allows Rodri to push further forward. We've seen Rodri going a lot further forward recently when Kovacic is next to him. And obviously Rodri's so good at that as well. So he's really coming to his own. He's been class recently. So long may it continue. Kevin De Bruyne, he come on for what? 20 odd minutes, 25 minutes. Didn't score. Probably should have scored. He could have put maybe a better ball through to Foden as well. When just coming down the right hand side. But that's not what I want to speak about. The fact that he didn't get the pass right, the fact he didn't get the shot right. What I want to speak about is the fact that he was on the pitch for 25 minutes. How many opportunities did he get to score a goal or to create a goal scoring opportunity in just 25 minutes?
Yeah.
I just thought at the end of it, I was like, yeah, should have done better with the shot, should have done better with the pass to Phil Foden, could have done this, could have done that. I was thinking, hang on a minute, I'm saying all this stuff. He was on the pitch for 25 minutes. He had more sort of like creative chances and like goal scoring positions than anyone else on the pitch. He was only on there for 25 minutes. I thought, bloody hell, when he starts a game against Burnley, mate, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It's going to be scary.
Yeah, exactly. I thought, this guy's so good, man. I can't wait till he starts games again, man. Which he should be against Burnley on Wednesday.
It's mad. I mean, it should be illegal for us to have an impact sub of this impact. It's just ridiculous. Obviously, he won't be that when it's to full fitness. It's similar to the Newcastle game. He comes on and immediately just things start happening. Just immediately, whether by his direct action or, as you say, by picking up really intelligent positions. And sure, yeah, there was one moment in particular. I think like he was running on the right hand side, and he could have put in a better ball. Spurs got in the way, but again, just the fact that he was getting into those areas, he is a difference maker. We saw it directly from the corner as well. Very little threats from the corners when I think it was Alvarez who was on them before. De Bruyne comes on, suddenly it's panic stations for Spurs, and obviously that's how we score. And it just goes to show that even a team of City's quality, and this is what annoys me, like, when De Bruyne came back and then there's a lot of discourse about, would City have won everything without De Bruyne anyway? It's like, I mean, the people who say that are just idiots, quite frankly. That he is our best player by a fair margin. He is a difference maker. He is a world-class player, and he's a ceiling riser, as they say. And you can see it. We've seen it in 2 occasions already. He comes against Newcastle, City go up a level. City against Spurs, City go up a level from like an offensive standpoint. If and when it gets to the point of he's able to consistently start games this season, and play like 70 minutes rather than 20, 25, that's when it will hopefully, from a City perspective, be lights out in terms of the opposition if he's able to maintain these levels. And every time he sprints, I get scared because I'm assuming he's going to I've got like a PTSD of him, like, pulling his hamstring again. But he just looks so solid and secure, like from a fitness perspective as well. So long may that continue. And as I say, it's spooky times for the rest of the league if he's able to turn these 20-minute cameos into starting, and then game even only 70 minutes. Just there is a reason. It's Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, I would start him against Burnley, to be honest with you. 100%. I mean, I would have started him yesterday, to be honest with you. But I think surely he's got to start against Burnley. I think sometimes people get a bit too scared. You've got to be in a situation where you've got to be able to trust the guy's body. Otherwise, what's the point? You can't just be like, oh, we can't play him ever. You know what I mean? You've got to eventually throw him back into the deep end. And yes, it's going to be nervy. When he gets tackled, you're going to be like, oh, damn, you know what I mean? What's going on here? When he's sprinting, there was a moment yesterday where he's sprinting, trying to get the ball in front of the goalkeeper. I was like, damn, hamstring's about to go here.
And any time a Spurs player even touched him, I got so angry. I was like, you get your filthy hands off my Kevin De Bruyne. You are not worthy. You're not worthy to touch a player of his quality. But thankfully he was fine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Big up to Pip Look with the super chat. Says, I wanted Rico Lewis to start. Also, Pep extension. There was obviously an interesting comment that come from Pep Gvardiol yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it, bro, about potentially, he says he's feeling good. You know what I mean? He's happy. Maybe
extend were the 3 words I heard.
Maybe extend. So I don't know if you seen my tweet yesterday, but you know what I said? I said, if City are that confident that we're not guilty in these charges, we should wait. And on the day that we get found not guilty, on the same day, announce a Pep Guardiola contract extension.
Meltdown.
Imagine the meltdown. And I said as well, the announcement video can be Pep Guardiola getting his contract out of a brown envelope. That'd just that'd just wind up the opposition fans so much, man.
That's great.
Big up to Pip Club. Yeah, Rico Lewis. Listen, Rico Lewis is still young, man. I think people forget just how young he is. He's younger than Oscar Bob.
Do you know what I mean? He's a baby.
Yeah, he was fast tracked into the team. So I think Rico Lewis will he'll be very fine. He's just fine. He just needs to chill out and just bide his time. But like I say, he is young. He was fast tracked into the team last year because, of course, the team wasn't performing. So Pep just went, boom, I'm going to throw Rico Lewis in. So that's the situation that went on there. I want to take a little bit of a look towards the next coming games. Guys, get some comments in the chat. Let me know about your thoughts on some of the stuff we've talked about. I'll get some comments in on screen in a sec. Big up to Chicken Wing says, what's up with the disturbing keeper tactics from Diaz? He was doing it the whole game, lol. What's up with the
Sorry, what does that mean?
Maybe he's saying
keeper tactics.
Why is Diaz standing on the keeper? I guess for the reason we scored the goal. Maybe that's the reason.
Like from when we had corners.
Yeah, I assume so.
Oh, I mean that happens all the time. Like to put off the keeper. That's. I mean, sometimes you put 2 or 3 players on the keeper. Sometimes it results in a foul, but sometimes it doesn't. No, yeah.
Do you think it was a foul, by the way?
No, because I have eyes.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for that. Let's have a look what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see what people are saying. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. What's going on? Big up to Beyond Belief. City are back. Hello. Would Liverpool go on a winning streak? I don't know. Maybe they're going on a winning streak. I have absolutely no idea. Is Big Steve in the chat?
Shout out, Steve. I met him in Istanbul.
Yes. Where is he? Apparently, Big Steve's in the chat. Big up, Steve, if you're here. I don't know if he's here, but if he is, LB get knitting out. Fucking hell, what do you mean get knitting out? Well, what's he done now? Kidell knitting. What are you winding up, bro? Yeah, let's have a look at some of the fixtures coming up then. We've got Burnley coming up, bro. For me, I think we should be winning our next 6 Premier League games. Let's have a look at the fixtures, man. These are the fixtures coming up. So you got Burnley next at home. Yeah, final game of January. For me, that should be a win. Brentford away. This is obviously going to be tough. They got Ivan Toney back. They won the first game with Ivan Toney, which is a little bit frustrating because obviously we play them now both when we've not played a single game without Ivan Toney, so that's a little bit annoying. But it is what it is. I still think we can win that game. Everton at home, we should win that game. Chelsea at home, I think we should win that. Brentford at home should win that. Bournemouth away should win that. United at home should win that. For me, I think we should win all these games up until we get to March when that gets really tough, man. Liverpool, Brighton, Villa.
Ideally, we need to be winning all our games up until Anfield, quite frankly.
Yeah, facts.
Obviously with the massive, I'm sure you've talked about it on your channel, massive Jurgen Klopp news, there's now a narrative of, that they're going to be even more motivated and pumped to, stop City and to get Klopp like a final league title win. So yeah, like we've got to make sure that we are. I mean, ideally, we've got to make sure that we're in a situation where we can afford to lose at Anfield, really, because it's going to be really hard to get a win at Anfield. We very, 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 very rarely do it. So yeah, we should be winning all those games. Yeah, shout out Big Steve. As I say, I met him in Istanbul when I was chilling with Daps as well. Good times.
Oh, YouTube friends. Well, did you have your little YouTube corner, did you, Nobbins?
No, I was it was in the fan zone and Daps was like, oh, because I think Daps had a VIP pass and it was like, do you want a kebab? I'll go get you one.
VIP?
I think Steve and Daps had VIP passes, for the fan zone.
Oh my God, Steve had a VIP pass.
Steve went on stage and
he used to be a man of the people, and now he's got a VIP pass.
Yes, Steve went on stage and did like a little interview. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. That's a crazy one. That's a crazy one. But yeah, listen, I'm buzzing, bro. Like honestly, I think we're completely over the whole. And you know what, as well, looking back at that one win in 6, when you actually look back at it now, there was only one game there which was disappointing in terms of the performance, and that was the Aston Villa game. Every other game, Liverpool, we was better than them. Spurs, we were better than them. Chelsea was a bit of a weird one, to be fair, because we just forgot how to defend. But we still scored 4 goals, and it was just a shame that our defence just dropped a stinker. Other than that, it was only the Villa game really that we was bad.
Yeah,
and even 100%. that we lost by a deflected shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so I think we're in a good spot, man.
100%, yeah. And again, I'm going to assume it's not just a flash in the pan. That just felt yesterday like we got our Man City back. It just felt like maybe there's like a watershed moment or something, as you say, go into the Club World Cup, having that as a distraction, coming back, realising that, oh, we've had one of our worst periods ever, but we're still only a couple points off. So, yeah, I think all of that combined together. And, yeah, there's no reason why we can't go on a massive run, especially with Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne coming back, the timing of that is just brilliant. Haaland's going to be coming back as well. Stones was on the bench, so I expect De Bruyne to start against Burnley. I maybe expect Stones to start against Burnley. Haaland, maybe he can come on the bench. I don't know what his fitness situation is. But assuming that we keep everyone fit, we should win the league, in my opinion. I don't think anyone's better than us. Again, if we keep everyone fit, I don't think anyone can really go toe-to-toe with us.
Do you think that this Klopp, because obviously I've not spoke to you about the Klopp news, do you think the Klopp news is going to make it more difficult to win the league or easier to win the league for us? Or do you not think it's got any sort of impact on it at all?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's more that one, to be honest, because I know this, I know the narratives and the storylines of, the Liverpool players are going to be really motivated to get him his final league title. I understand that argument, but you can swing it both ways. I mean, first of all, if you're not already motivated to win a league title after you haven't won it in 4 years, then I question your motivations as a footballer in the first instance. But it can also go both ways. Like, you better believe that in the same way that Klopp will be in the dressing room to Liverpool players going, guys, win it for me, you better believe like Gvardiol will be in his dressing room going, basically, let's put a stinker on his parade and let's just go, no, let's just not allow him that final hurrah. Let's just destroy him and destroy Liverpool. And because as much as we love and I love Gvardiol, he's obviously, arrogant's not the right word, but he's proud of his achievements and whatnot. So he would love nothing more than to just make Klopp's departure from the Premier League end on a whimper. I don't think Liverpool will do it, but you could even quote when Pellegrini announced he was leaving City and we just down tools. I'm not saying that's going to happen, obviously, but it's not as, I don't think it's as easy as just, the players are going to be really motivated to win. And this is going to be the massive boost. If Liverpool win the league, for me, it won't be because Klopp's announced his resignation. I don't think it's got too much of an impact. I think it's an interesting talking point, but again, it can work both ways because you can then look at the City angle and go, well, maybe they'll be more motivated as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think, though?
I think it's going to make it. I think it's going to make it slightly more difficult. But then, because I put on Twitter yesterday, I think it's going to make it more difficult. But then someone said to me, it's a good point. They've only lost one game all season anyway.
Liverpool, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's like, how could it be more difficult than that anyway?
Yeah, and this is my sort of thinking on Liverpool. I think that we've seen, totally willing to be proven wrong, I think we've seen the absolute peak that this Liverpool side can offer in its current form. I don't see them finding another level. Whereas the City we've seen for most of this season, I've always looked at it and gone, there's definitely another level here that we can go to. We're sort of playing within ourselves at times.
I agree, man. I think we're like, not in like a negative way, but I think we're miles off the pace in terms of like our maximum ability. Like, I'm not even saying that like as like a disrespectful thing to the team. Like, say I seen a player, and they said, "Oh, what do you think of the season so far?" I'd said, "All right, but I think you're playing at around 70% of your maximum abilities, like a maximum sort of like strengths." Now, of course, a lot of that, by the way, down to the fact that Kevin De Bruyne's not been there. Yeah, you take Kevin De Bruyne out of the team, of course, you're not going to be as good as. But I think, like you, I just personally feel that if you can keep Ederson, Stones, Rodri, KDB, Haaland fit, which is easier said than done, because two of those players are very injury prone, and KDB and Stones. If you can keep those fit, I just don't see how we don't win the league. And that's no disrespect to Liverpool, yeah, but even Liverpool fans got to accept that is one of the best spines in world football. It probably is the best spine in world football. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you keep them fit, I just don't see how we don't go and win the league. Now, of course, we don't know if we can keep them fit. Can we keep John Stones fit? That fitness injury with him is a madness. So KDB, what's his hamstring going to be like? Because we've only seen him play 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Like, he's had a full hamstring operation. Been out since May. He's not kicked a proper ball. He's not kicked a ball properly now since May, like for a long period of time in a game. So it's we don't know for sure, but I think we're in a great position, man. Look, we're 5 points behind Liverpool. We've got a game in hand against Brentford, so it's not easy. But they got a couple of tricky games coming up. They've got no Mo Salah. I think Trent might be out as well. So I think these next 2 games for Liverpool, for me, bro, are huge. Chelsea at home, Arsenal away. If they win them 2, they're going to be like, they're going to get the chests out there. And they're going to think, yeah, we can do this. But if they drop points, that lets us in.
Yeah, exactly. And we know whenever City and Liverpool have had a title race, City win it. There's not been an occasion where there's been a proper title race and Liverpool have won it. The 1920 season wasn't even a title race. Like we were just awful, for our high standards from the start. Liverpool won it in like November. There wasn't even a race. So they would have to break history for them to go to toe with Pep City, because no one's ever done it yet. As I say, from a title race perspective. So yeah,
that's
it's gonna be interesting though.
Big up to Piplup, says we would be unbeaten if Cass had played the GOAT.
You're not wrong, Piplup. You're not wrong.
Is this going to be the last season of Scott Carson?
Nah, just keep him on. Even just not as a player, just in the background for vibes, Just
yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if they offered him some sort of coaching job, once he did it.
He's part of the furniture at this point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. FA Cup draw then. I think FA Cup draws tomorrow. There's a couple more games obviously needed to be played. Chelsea and Aston Villa went down to a replay. So one of them's going out. Liverpool will go through. Fulham, Newcastle. I mean, I would say Newcastle should win that, but obviously Newcastle have been in such bad form recently. Yeah,
Fulham are decent as well. I think that even like Ipswich, who were like, top of the championship or whatever, they got knocked out by didn't they get knocked out by a non-league team today or something?
Maidstone United 2-1 at home as well. They were at home.
Exactly. So it's, hey, if they can do it to Ipswich, why can't Fulham do it to Newcastle? Absolutely. I'd probably back Fulham, to be honest.
Yeah. No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Listen, I'm buzzing for the rest of the season now. I'm like, I feel like I got my Man City back. You know what I mean? I feel like first half of the season, I mean, it's always kind of like this. We all kind of know what City are like. It was actually a little bit frustrating because this year we actually started well. And then Rodri gone and choke slammed that guy at Forest. And then it all just kind of went a little bit south from there. But we had our standard dip. And I feel like, obviously, we had no KDB. We had no Rodri for a bit. John Stones has hardly played. Haaland's then been injured. I feel like now, touch wood, it looks like we finally got a fully fit squad. I think Akanji's coming back in like a week, 2 weeks. So that's going to be good news. We're going to have a fully fit squad. And I'm like, if we can keep these players fit, man. I'm telling you, bro, I'm getting excited for another special season, man. I think we could do something special again.
Double, treble. Is that what you're suggesting?
I wouldn't dream of suggesting something like that, bro. I wouldn't dream.
Not out loud. You seriously wouldn't say it out loud anyway.
Yeah, no, because we've already won 2 trophies.
It's a good point.
Oh!
Double quintuple then. There you go.
Big up to Simon with the member chat, says we played most of the season without KDB, Stones, Rodri, Haaland and Doku. Bring it on. That's what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. We've not even seen the proper team yet, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The only thing for me is an issue of fitness. Again, if they stay fit, we should win, to be honest.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm looking forward to this Burnley game. Could do with a couple KDB assists for my assist bet. Let's have a look at the Premier League assists. Did you get on this bet, by the way?
No, I remember you telling me about it, and then I think like a few hours after you told me about it, the odds went up or something like that.
Yeah, the leader is Mohamed Salah and Ollie Watkins, both on 8.
And Bruyne must already be on 1.
KDB?
Yeah.
He's on 1, for the Oscar Bob. So I need him to get... It would be nice if he could get a couple against Burnley. And obviously, if he does win it, then I'm in the money. But yeah, man, buzzing. Anything else that we want to speak about on this stream, guys? If you've got any questions, by the way, fire them in the chat, and we'll speak on it. But yeah, what are you thinking, bro? Anything else you want to discuss? Transfer window still open for a few days.
We're not doing anything, are we? Outside of giving Phillips to West Ham, he's probably going to go in the summer. That'll be the end of that. Sad times, but probably the best decision. We've obviously signed that young Argentine. I don't know anything about him, but I think we're going to loan him out immediately to somewhere like Girona. You'd think, so he's one for the future. Probably nothing happening in the transfer window. It is a very small squad, but we all know that Guardiola likes dealing with small squads because he'd rather have a small squad which is all quality rather than a bloated one which is less so and a bit all over the place because bigger squads are harder to manage. From like a game, like everyone wanting minutes, you can't really do that. So it's small, but it's what Pep wants.
Bro, what do you make of Savio Girona? He wants City so bad,
Has he been hinting?
Bro, he talks about us like every week, mate. Like, it's actually mad how much the guy speaks about us. Again, 2 days ago, he said, would he be interested in joining Man City? He said yes. He said yes. He said, when I was signed by the City group, I had the ultimate goal of arriving at Man City, but each player will go through his own process in his own storm, which is normal. He said he's focused on Girona right now, but he does have the ultimate dream of playing for City. He just speaks about us all the time, bro. Like, a week doesn't go by without Savio of Girona speaking about Man City.
He's desperate.
We're going to need a winger in the summer, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because I think we're going to lose Bernardo Silva, man. Surely Bernardo Silva's getting bought by someone at 50 million. So you're going to need a winger.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Gvardiol has currently managed to get around the fact we don't have enough wingers by using the fullbacks as wingers. But I'm sure in his ideal world, he would rather have forwards as forwards rather than defenders as forwards. So yeah, someone in the mould of this Savio, Nico Williams, whoever, is surely got to be number one priority in the summer.
You like Williams, don't you?
I like him a lot, yeah, because he plays for Bilbao, and they're my Spanish team. I love Bilbao. He's right. He's basically both-footed, which means he's basically both-sided. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. A lot like Doku, to be honest, in the way that they are both-footed and both sides. He's a bit more of a playmaker compared to Doku, and I really like the idea of them both playing in the same team. I think that would be terrifying.
Yeah. Nah, that's right. That's right. Listen, guys, buzzing. City into the next round of the FA Cup. Listen, my thoughts on the FA Cup, man, this season. I just had a weird feeling that Pep might sack it off this year just because we've already won 2 trophies and he might just focus on the Premier League Champions League. But didn't get that impression last night. And last night would have been a decent opportunity for him to chuck it out if he didn't want it. He put out a strong side. Draw is tomorrow. I hope we get a home draw, man. Give me a home draw. You know what I mean?
Home draw against Maidstone United. That'd be nice. That'd be good for them as well from a financial perspective. Let's have them.
Yeah, that would be good for them. Let's get a home draw. Let's get into the next round. Is it the next round that the replays stop? At what point do the replays stop?
I didn't even realize that was a thing. To be honest,
the replays are only up to a certain point now. They've cut it off at a certain point. I don't know when though.
Oh no, I'm not sure. It's going to be the 5th round, is it? So because we've already played Huddersfield. Yes, Huddersfield 3rd, Spurs 4th. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe like the round before the quarters, or maybe from the quarters would make most sense.
That's probably right. Big up to Second City Saint with a super chat. Says Pep mentality broke Klopp. Enticing. Is that right?
Enticing, yeah.
Enticing end to the season. Yes, Second City Saint. I think we're in for a buzzing second half of the season, man. And of course, people are writing off Arsenal, but they are still there. They are still in the title race.
I think it's very foolish to write them off for saying they're not in the title race because I don't think they'll win it, but they definitely still are. Definitely. Yeah, it's only a few points in it.
Facts. Canyo says, LB, can you speak on how Doku wasn't running back on defence? We spoke about it a little bit before, but yeah, listen, Pep Guardiola clearly wasn't happy about that. You could see him on the touchline shouting at Doku. And listen, it's up to him. It's simple. Because you've got Jack Grealish, he's one of the hardest working defensive wingers in the world. I'm telling you, if Doku doesn't work hard tracking back, he won't play the big games. It's quite simple as that. So he's only young. I'm sure he'll get used to it, but he needs to track back. Otherwise, he won't play the. When we're playing the Real Madrid to this world, the PSGs, the Bayern Munichs, if he doesn't track back, he won't be in the team.
Yeah.
So
there'll be no place for Pep. Does not carry passengers.
Facts. Yeah, exactly. You gotta work very, very hard. Right, cool. We will be back. Are you available on Thursday, Bria, or nah?
Oh, Burnley, of course. Yes, that should be fine. Yes.
Cool. That will do that then. Back up to another super chat says Doku also needs to stop losing the ball too. Yeah, well, the only thing I'd say on that one, City said, is because of the style of winger he is going to lose the ball a lot. So long as he's losing it on the edge of the opposition penalty area where he's doing
in the right areas, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it because you don't want to coach that out of his game. Now, if you're not talking about that, if you're talking about him losing the ball a little bit closer to our halfway line or even in our own half, then fair. I don't know what you're talking about. But if you're speaking about him losing the ball on the edge of their penalty area, I never criticize a winger for that because they're taking on players. They're never going to get past them all the time. But again, I don't know whether you're referring to when he's attacking with the ball or whether he's got it like on the halfway line, because obviously you don't want to lose it on the halfway line because then it's dangerous. So yeah, depends what you mean there. But big up again for the super chat, bro. Appreciate it. Right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Big up to everyone that's joined. Make sure you smash a like on the stream if you've not done so already. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Nobbins' link is in the description, man. So make sure you subscribe to Nobbins. What are you on, bro? Are you on the subs? What are you on now, bro?
I don't pay attention to sub count. I'm not sure.
Oh,
unless it's like a big milestone, I don't really pay attention to it.
Oh, okay. Fair dues. I do.
You tell me. You're my channel. What am I on?
Okay, no. What am I? Your PA?
Would you like to be?
No, because your videos, man.
I'll pay you mates rates.
It just says 11k. It doesn't give me the actual stuff.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I'm on 11k. Thank you, guys.
I am 17 subscribers away from 13k.
Oh, that's naughty.
17 people, guys. Please make sure you subscribe.
On, guys.
I'm going to redirect you to Lee Gunner. He's doing a watch-along of Real Madrid versus Valladolid, I think they're playing. I'm not sure who they're playing, actually. But yeah, I'm going to send you over there. Big up to Lee. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you're watching back on replay, give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Big up to all the super chatters today. We've got Piplup, Karl, German Chicken Wing, Simon Clark, and Second City saying appreciate the support. I'll probably be live tonight with some other stream. Guys, I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.